Hello everyone, welcome to the Goway Industry Insider webinar series. Again, we are speaking about our groups department. I say again because one, it's one of the largest, if not the largest in North America.
The largest in North America.
There we go, the largest in North America. And by extension, we have, Nikki, how many people in the department?
Around 40 now.
40?
Yep.
40 people in our groups department spread all over North America. Do we have any international groups people?
From Newfoundland to Vancouver Island down to Los Angeles.
I guess across the border for us is international. I meant outside of North America.
No, but you know what? You'll get from this webinar, Don, that we've got lots of different accents going on. So I think we're an international.
Well, there's a whole lot of accents in here. I'm an Aussie. Jennifer?
Irish.
English.
India.
Canadian.
Kenyan?
No, Canadian.
Oh, I thought you said... I thought you said Kenyan.
Oh, I did marry a Maasai warrior. Oh, you did? I did, actually.
And you said you had nothing interesting to talk about. Oh my God.
And I'm Canadian.
Well, there you go. So we've got a nice mix here as well. So normally I would obviously host our webinars, but I'm going to step aside, grab the other camera and leave it to Jennifer and her team to talk about some interesting facts about groups, be it the booking process, the actual concept of the group idea, and just stuff that happens on a day-to-day basis. And to quote Jennifer before we came on air, that maybe people have a misconception that groups is boring. It shouldn't be considered that way. I think you hear today from some of the conversations and stories that the girls have had. Have we got any guys in the groups department?
No, we have a few.
We have an equal opportunity.
We are. We employ boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody's welcome.
Well, you hear from the girls today on some of their interesting stories. So I'll hand it over to Jennifer and she'll take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Don. Well, I'm first so excited the fact that I did not know that the famous Melissa Webster had a Kenyan husband. So we're going to start with you, Melissa. In a sense, I know you love all things Africa, and Melissa is our team leader for Africa here at Groups Only. So Melissa, what is your favourite destination to travel for groups, and tell me why? Passing the mic over, Melissa.
I actually really like Ethiopia.
And why?
Because of the culture. You can literally go 10 kilometers down the road and have a completely different cultural experience.
Actually, I remember seeing some of your pictures on Facebook, and
Yes.
they're like the craziest. It's like where the world is still untouched, isn't it?
Yes, and every culture is so unique and beautiful and amazing, and the people are so wonderful, so that's my favorite.
But I think you need to go into the story of how you managed to marry.
No.
There you go. Yes.
I don't think we can leave that door unopened.
Absolutely. Now, does this man in Kenya have a name, Melissa?
I have no idea.
Better. My type of
The great
husband.
thing about this marriage, he's in Kenya and I'm at home, so I don't have to see him very often.
That is a marriage made in heaven. So yeah, no, I think we do. You're right, Nikki. We need to get back to how did you get Masai
I don't know. It was like late at night, there was a little bit of beer, and we were dancing around a fire with a lion headdress, and yeah, they have like the goat's blood thing that goes in the calabash. It's called a calabash, right? And I still have the calabash. It smells horrid.
No, what is a calabash? I don't know what that is.
It's like is it made out of like what do they make it out of? Like a gourd. It's like kind of like a teardrop shape.
I've got one as well. I'm not sure you can hear me off mic. I got one as well, and to this day it stinks.
Mine does stink because they mix it with blood and milk from the goats, and then they drink it.
I have no idea, and I don't even know what a gourd is. I feel like
Like a squash. Yeah, it's like a squash.
Okay, so you went to this event, you found a man.
No, it wasn't
got
an
married.
event. It was just in the middle of the bush. I have a video of it actually. It's pretty cool. This was like a long time ago. I was probably like 22 or something.
Oh my goodness.
But it was really cool because they were all jumping, like how the Maasai jump, and I was hooked to him, and we were dancing around with lion headdresses and everything, and they were singing and kind of in a trance, and it was really cool.
And you're still married to him?
I am.
I love that. So, okay, and I think that's something that we're pretty good at with the Goway Groups Only. We love doing immersive activities when you're in destination. Like, that is part of the fun. I'm going to pick on the lovely Karen. Karen, you've booked so many groups for us. What type of activities do your groups like to do, or have you had any crazy unusual things?
It's always something exceptional, something that you cannot really find in too many itineraries online. So things like, I just quoted something where I included an early morning breakfast outside a hippo pool in Kenya.
Oh my God.
So they have they set up these tables with a full cooked breakfast with champagne, and in the background you can hear the hippos and you can actually see them as well. And they're snorting and they're blowing air all over the place, and it's just an amazing experience. And it's also the sundowner safaris that I include in a lot of my trips, that they have like an amazing sunset, and you can get one of those lovely pictures with the sunset in the background and then the lone tree as well, and then you're sipping champagne and watching the sun go down. So just things like that I like.
Can you
to
explain to
include.
people, and I didn't know until prior to joining the Goway GroupsOnly team, I'd heard all about sundowners in South Africa.
Yes.
What is, for those of the people out there listening that they don't know what a sundowner is, what is it?
So I like to do it as a surprise. So they'll take you on a safari in the afternoon, and then when it's nearing the end of the day, they'll take you out into a clearing in the bush. So you're in the middle of nowhere, and then all of a sudden you come across this clearing where they've set up tables with drinks and hors d'oeuvres and all that, and then everybody says, "Oh wow, what is this?" And then they serve champagne and they serve like hors d'oeuvres, gin and tonic, or maybe a vodka, and then whatever you want, and then you watch the sun go down while you're sipping your drink and nibbling on hors d'oeuvres, and then it's an amazing experience. And when I explain it to the group leader, they say, "Wow, we must include this in our itineraries." And it's usually done as a surprise for the group, so they don't really know, they're not expecting something, but then it just wows them.
And that's what it's all about, though, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
even for our own
Yeah.
travel, it's been wowed, and
Yes.
it's just having those
Yes.
awe moments of,
Wow,
this is my life.
experiences. Yeah.
Now, Miss Nikki, you've been around this industry, as we'd say in our side of the world, Nicky Donkey's years. You've probably come across it all. What are some, I suppose, things that stick in your memory of, maybe even, let's go down the road of complaints. Not that we ever get any complaints, but we get the odd complaint from time to time. What are some of those ones that stick out for you?
That's putting me on the spot.
I know, sorry.
I can remember the fun ones more.
Give us a fun one.
Probably the funniest one was meeting a bunch of police and firemen in Adelaide, Australia at 9 o'clock in the morning, rounding them up for their transfer because the bus can't wait until you've got them, turning my back and losing them. They were all in the bar. So that was probably the funniest one.
Yeah.
Or one of the funny ones. Complaints was obviously travelling and I'm going to say turning the TV on and not being able to see an English station, which is...
Were they in an English-speaking country?
No, they weren't.
Oh, okay.
And that's part of the fun and the immersion, and you can still watch the pictures. I can't think of it. Come on, guys, help me out here.
Well, I can actually think of a complaint, though, where I had a large group going to Mexico and stayed in a phenomenal hotel. Everything was amazing, and the complaint that I got when they came back was there was too much Spanish being spoken. So, and I remember thinking, is this a complaint? You are in a Spanish-speaking country, but you know what? For some people, you sort of have to laugh at stuff like that. If people are traveling, they are going to be immersed in the local culture and language.
I think we need to bring that up too, because I've had an Indian group come back, a group that traveled to India come back and say that there was too much Indian food while they were in India. So I think we just need to remind people and ask if that would be okay, because that's the local cuisine. But that was a complaint I had once.
Assumptions are bad in groups.
I guess so.
Aisha, so you've been around a long time as well. Where is your favourite place to sell as a group, and where's your favourite place that you've travelled to? So I'm giving you 2 questions here.
Okay, I still don't have an answer for my favorite place, and I get asked this all the time from all my friends.
Okay, top 3.
Anywhere in Africa, love it. And I've recently been back to Egypt, and I really love Egypt because there's so much culture there. I love the food. There's just so much history there, and every time you go back, it's different.
It is amazing, isn't it?
I also like Argentina because I like adventure.
And you're not even a meat eater. That's
Not
the
either.
thing.
And it surprised me that there was so much vegetarian food and delicious vegetarian options.
I know. You're missing out, Aisha.
yeah.
Sorry. The
I
meat
think
in Argentina is
Your favorite trip
amazing.
was Ghana with me.
Right. Yeah. See, Africa.
Now-
That was one of my favorite fam trips.
Yeah.
Now, both of you actually went to Ghana, and you both had, and it's actually an activity that we do include in lots of our groups, is the naming ceremony. So what were both your Ghanaian names?
Oh, I don't remember.
Mine
that.
was love.
Yours is love, because I've heard you say that a few times to
But
different
it was
agents.
emotional. Like
It was
both
emotional.
of us got teary. Like
Yeah,
when
I
we
was
did the
full on
ceremony.
crying.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like Africa's.
And it's funny for those listening, and people might not realise this, Ghana is our #1 seller in Africa for groups only, so it's an exceptionally popular place. The year of the return was just before COVID, so I know a lot of people, especially African Americans, are tracing ancestry in that. But I've heard so many people talk about the naming ceremony and how emotional, immersive, and it's the real deal. It's the real McCoy as well. It's not like a touristy trap, is it?
No, it's right in an authentic village, authentic toilet.
Tell us about the toilet, Aisha.
You're just like right in the village. It's very raw. There's no. I mean, it's a flush toilet, but it's just a little hut, I guess. I would recommend bringing toilet paper. They did have some, but you just never know.
Do you know what though? They're the tips that people need to know. When I went to Egypt, okay, and I like to think of myself as being a well-ish travelled. Going to the bathrooms in Egypt, like you need to have money with you. You have to tip. So that's something that I really took for granted. I walked in and the lady's like, "Where's the money?" And I was like, "For what? Like, what am I giving you money for?" But it's for the toilet
in
paper.
India as well. We have, they will, for I think 10 rupees, they will give you like a little strip of toilet paper. So you should always carry your own.
Throughout India, Karen?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, sorry, back this up here a bit, Don. Nikki, I've gone to London many a time and I've never been
Train
asked.
stations, every single time it's pay as you go.
Okay, they used to have that in Dublin as well, where you'd have to put in 25p or something, but that was more for the stalls, isn't
No,
it?
you don't get in without that. Yeah, you have to have cafe.
Yeah, we were in London a couple of years ago, and we had to pay to use the public bathroom.
Isn't it something you take for granted though? But I didn't know that about India at all.
Yeah.
So you need to have.
So tips like that,
Yeah.
always have.
I get it on a night. Listen, I've gone to many a nightclub. I get it in a nightclub where you might have the fancy basket with the perfumes and lip glosses where you tip. But to get a basic of toilet paper.
As soon as we're right down there at the moment, we can add the Philippines into that list as well.
Okay, speaking of toilets,
having
this is going in a whole different. Where is the best? I'm going to tell you where the best toilet experience I've ever had in my entire life. Do you know where I'm going to say? Japan.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Oh my goodness! And
I was
Japan
gonna say
is.
this
Let's
today.
be real.
Kilimanjaro.
Japan is the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
I went, and I'll be honest with you. Again, I'm used to a toilet. It's a normal toilet.
It's a spa treatment in Japan, I heard.
The first time I experienced it, I was like, oh no, I'm really uncomfortable with this. By the end of day 10, I was pressing the bird noises, I was getting massaged, the toilets are out of this world. Heated. Honest to God. They are I left Japan and I felt like this is like, Japan's obviously an amazing destination, but their toilets are on a whole different level. Has
I
any,
just wanted to sit on that.
have you been, no, but have you been, Karen, have you been?
I've not been.
No,
to
like,
Japan.
who's been to Japan?
I haven't either.
Oh, well, listen, ladies, sorry, this is going on a whole other level. Japan has the most amazing toilets. You go down and it's like all these buttons, and I'm like, what are these contraptions? And honestly, the first time I was a little bit scared. I thought, am I going to be sucked down into this hole? Like, what's going to get down? What's happening? But it's all these, different ways of washing, bird noises, heat. Amazing. I came home and I was actually in Ireland at the time, and I came back and I went to my parents' lovely house and I looked at the toilet thinking, this is such a downgrade. It's like, you know, when you turn left on a plane and it's like, oh, this is the way the other half live. Everybody in Japan lives in a amazing experience when it comes to their bathrooms. So bathrooms in Japan are amazing. I heard the girls mention there, for those of you, Nikki and Karen, if you're not aware, we are planning to climb Mount Kilimanjaro next year as a group, and I'm hearing an awful lot about the lack of toilet facilities.
Yeah, I've actually reached out to the supplier and asked to hire our own private toilet. Which you can do.
Yeah, we're not going without a private toilet.
But that's something with groups that you actually, like, again, we're laughing about it now, but they're funny things that you actually can
And it's
organise.
so minimal once you split the cost amongst the group. Like, for these.
So I'm going to be
And it's right next to our hut, so we don't have to traipse through in the dark with our headlamps on. And
Okay, so we're talking about huts and mobile toilets. Let's go back to the other end of the spectrum. Most luxurious groups that we've sold, like, or demands that some travel agents have had with regards to opulence, or have we had any of these over the
Well,
top?
India, I've sold a group staying at all the Oberoi hotels.
Amazing.
And they are amazing. I've actually experienced it myself. And,
What makes them amazing?
oh, just like they greet you and they do sorry.
They sprinkle roses.
They sprinkle rose petals down as you walk through the gate to the hotel.
Yeah, that's in a lot of hotels in India, in some of the higher end ones. I've had that too, where they blow a trumpet as you're walking down the red carpet as you enter the hotels, and they'll sprinkle rose petals and they'll spray you with perfume.
And even at the pool, they mist you.
And they already know your name as you're walking down the red carpet, so they will greet you by name as you come in. So that's some of the
service on a whole other level, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
And it's funny, actually, Heather is one of our group specialists, has recently returned from India, and she went to the southern part of India, and India, I'll be honest with you, was never on my bucket list, and now, India was never on my bucket list, Karen, and I have to say, when Heather came back, I was like blown away.
Yeah.
She talked about literally being measured, being brought in by one of our partners on the ground and being measured for these dresses and clothes. And she said within 24 hours, next thing, she's in this gorgeous hotel and they have all these new dresses spread out in her bed and like haute couture, like made to measure, and she just felt like a queen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to go there. Like, just... I don't know, she just painted this picture. I was like, I need to experience this. And the food, and she said it was very, very different to what she'd experienced in maybe going to, I think it was Mumbai before, to the north.
the
Is it a
north.
real different experience?
Well, yes, the north of India is more cultural.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like activity, there's a lot of hustle and bustle, there's the markets and, you know, the crowds and the congestion. And when you go to the southern part of India, it's completely different. It's quieter, it's lush, it's green. The focus is on spa and serenity and all those, you know, calming experiences. So it is completely different. But I think the greatest tip to selling India is that no matter where in India you go, you have to come back at the end of the day to a nice hotel. Because some people, when they go to India, you can either just hate it or you can love it. And the trick to making them love it is, yes, you go out during the day, you go and you see all the congestion and the dust and the crowds. But at the end of the day, you come back to a nice hotel and that kind of calms you down, and then you're ready for the next day out again.
Yeah. Nikki, where has been the most opulent place that you've stayed in, or what's one of those moments that you're like, is this my life?
I think luxury can be in the hand of the person.
Absolutely.
To me, I always go for service first.
Yeah.
And probably the best experience was in Fiji. And I arrived on an island. They knew my name. They knew I was on my own. And everywhere you went, they called you by that first name, and by morning number 2 they knew exactly what I liked for breakfast as well. And I think that sort of thing you can't train people to, it's in them, and it just makes you feel so special. And I would go for that. Luxury experience, I would go for the castles around Europe. But never book them for the first night, only the last night, because it's only down from there.
And don't book them for, like, if you're picking my homeland or your homeland of England, make sure, and this is a tip actually for groups in general, if you're booking a castle in Ireland, for example, don't book a Saturday night, because the likelihood is you're going to have a local wedding, unless you want to gate crash that wedding, because I'm telling you, an Irish wedding is the best wedding you can have. But just from a price perspective and availability perspective, avoid a Saturday night.
Melissa would probably find a husband.
Melissa might go for an Irish husband. She's gathering them. Listen, where's two? She's married already, but yes. Where's the next one going to be found, Melissa? Okay, we're going to pick on you again, Melissa. So where is your next trip going to be, or where would you like to travel to next?
I would love to go to Madagascar. Has always been on my list, so I really would love to go there.
Why?
I'm a cultural person, so I really want to. I don't know. I just think it would be something. I've been to a lot of countries in Africa, so I think Madagascar is one I haven't been to, so I'm really interested in that. And I do want to go back to Namibia to see the Himba tribe.
I know you have some of the most amazing pictures with all these different tribes, and that it's incredible. Aisha, where's next on your bucket list?
I would like to go to Brazil because I sell a lot of groups there, and I have yet to go. Yeah.
Karen was in Brazil last.
Yes,
Karen and Melissa were in Brazil. So you were just
One of my favorite cities, Rio.
Yes.
So much to do, so much fun. And if you have a hotel right outside Copacabana Beach, that's the best.
And the people watching in there.
And I did not feel unsafe for one little bit.
No.
Do you know what?
Contrary to what most people say.
And that's so funny because whenever I went to Brazil years ago, and everybody had said to me, and I was a lot younger, they were like, "Oh, be careful, don't be." I hadn't got drippings of jewels at that time. I still don't. But I mean, they're like, "Don't have your jewelry; it's really unsafe." I went with one other friend. Like, we were in our early 20s, and I completely agree with you. I never, ever felt unsafe. But what I found to be so fun, exactly what you're talking about at Copacabana Beach, was the people watching. I don't know if this is PC to say in a webinar or not, but it was seeing these really old men with really beautiful, young they were legal. They were, younger women, and it was just a people watching, just to experience the whole thing. I loved it. And Aisha, I'm picking on you just because you're a vegetarian. The steak I had in Brazil and Argentina was second to none, and it was so inexpensive. You went and you got the most, they're really famous for their barbecue and stuff, and it was $5 for this, Michelin star standard restaurant. I loved it. Yes, we'll get you to Brazil, Aisha. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You might even convert her to meat eating.
That's recorded.
Oh, it is. It's an amazing. And it was.
But we have some staff there right now, and I'm following along on their photos, and it looks like they're having a great time.
I think it's when you're talking about mindset as well, though. Brazilian people in general are fun people. They're fun-loving people. It is. It's
full of fun.
Yeah. Karen, where's been your favourite destination? I know it's a tough question.
I think it all depends on how you go to a destination. I think I've loved all of them.
Yeah.
But I recently was in Namibia earlier this year. And I think the most favorite part of that trip for me was going to the Skeleton Coast.
I remember you showing us that.
Just hearing about the stories, and I'd never heard of it before. So just hearing about the Skeleton Coast and staying at the Shipwreck Lodge.
That looked so
I
cool.
would go back in a heartbeat.
But tell everyone, what is that ship? It's literally a shipwreck, isn't it?
It's literally built like the ship, like a ship. The cabins there's just 10 cabins, and it's right in the middle of nowhere. You have the desert, and you can actually walk through the desert to the shores, where you can actually see shipwrecks. And all along that coast, you have shipwrecks that dot that coast. And it's just amazing to listen to the stories about how those shipwrecks happened. And staying at the Shipwreck Lodge, it just reminds you of being on a ship in the middle of nowhere. The ocean is right there. And it's just so so calm and it's so wild. It's just an amazing experience. You have to experience it for yourself.
It's mad, like, to think that there's so many places. Like, I'd never heard of that. And when you did your presentation to the team, I think we were all like, oh my God, we need to experience that. I never heard of it, though. Do you know what I mean?
And the funny thing is, my husband used to be in the Merchant Navy.
Wow.
Yeah, many years ago, before we moved to Canada, almost like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I said, have you heard about the skeleton post of Namibia? And he said, no.
That's mad.
So I explained it to him and he said, wow, never heard of it, because his ships have never been there. But just
It shows
amazing.
there's so many places in the world,
Yeah.
isn't there, that are yet to be discovered or yet to be really commercialized. And Nikki, where is next on your bucket list? Or what's on your bucket list?
Ooh, hard question.
Yeah.
I love the South Pacific, Australia and New Zealand. Can never get enough of it and haven't seen the whole of it. But I really, really want to go back to Africa, where I've only had a slight feel.
You can stay with Melissa's husband.
Yeah, I mean, he'll look after us well, won't he? And I think if I was going to say, take it on a different line, one of the most untapped places I've had the luck to see, similar to what Karen said, is probably beautiful Slovenia.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Ljubljana in particular, like a Venice without all the crowds and all the history in that. And I think I'm amazed at how often or how little traffic there is from North America, and that would be one of my hidden gems.
I think that's, maybe it's a me and you thing, being English and Irish, though. Like, Europe was always on our doorstep, and you take for granted. Like, that's something I was only talking to my husband about this yesterday. Not my Kenyan one, by the way, Melissa. My Irish one.
You could trade in.
I know, I might have to. I'm jealous. But I was. No, Melissa, we love it.
Yeah.
I think, depending on where you're from, though, for me, like, Europe is obviously on our doorstep, and it was always one of those things, I'll get to it. Like, I went to Italy for the first time not that long ago, and it was only an hour and a half flight from Dublin, but I think there's so, like, to me, I want to explore more of Europe. There's so many hidden gems, like going to the likes of Romania, Bulgaria, all these places that maybe aren't as well known as the Italys and that type of thing, which, don't get me wrong, Italy is absolutely amazing, but I would love to explore a little bit more of maybe, especially Eastern Europe.
And even finding the chartered tracks within those destinations, because everyone goes to the same place all the time. I mean, a while ago it was Greece and Santorini and Mykonos. Every single
Thanks to Instagram.
And Instagram has a lot to answer to. Yeah, it's a great mode, and whoever thought of that did a fantastic job. But it's like, guys, there's so many other Greek islands. Why aren't you going to them? Because it's not Mykonos and Santorini. So kind of going against Instagram may not be a bad idea, and being the first one to post it.
Groups, we can do Instagram.
Absolutely.
All the famous places, and we can make it all happen for you.
It has to have an Instagram.
Bali is a
now.
very popular one right now for Instagram.
And speaking of Instagram moments, sorry, Melissa, you have, for those of you who don't know, Goway has our own dedicated travel agents Facebook group, members only. I believe we have the largest in North America as well, with over 5,000 members. Am I right? Yeah, I'm getting the nod to say I'm right. So yeah, be sure to join that members group, and you'll see lots of feedback. I know myself and Nikki are forever smiling, and you, the three of you girls who are sitting here, your names, these are famous out there with the amount of you are though, and you have to give yourself a pat on the back. So many agents are posting some of their amazing pictures from their trips. I forever see, she's amazing, Melissa's amazing, Karen, she's the goat. The goat, greatest of all time.
Pictures, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's, sometimes we don't get to see that, like, you work like a year and a half with these groups.
Yeah.
Then they go and blink of an eye, they're back, and that's kind of it, right? And then, so it's kind of cool when they post pictures and then you can see the group that you've planned for a year.
You just talked, Melissa messaged me the other day and she said, did you see Catherine, who's an amazing, I just hold it all the time, I can't help it. Melissa had sent me an email the other day and she said, did you see Catherine's pictures? And Catherine, thank you Catherine for always submitting them onto the Facebook page, but I was nearly tearing up because it showed her in Bali. She's in Bali now.
Right.
And you know the way everyone does the swings in Bali?
Yeah.
But she's sitting there, well firstly, Catherine, you're drop dead gorgeous. You know, but she is.
Yes.
But she's sitting on a swing with like a ring of flowers and I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, you
And-
can rent the dresses. They're like $20.
but it was the flowers that were around
Yeah,
her,
it's
and
so beautiful.
oh, like the most amazing pictures. And then she put up, and it, like Melissa had organised some private gifts for her, and it was just seeing the pure look of happiness on this
Yes.
group's page. Like I want to be part of your group, by the way, Catherine. Like only.
Catherine's groups are amazing. I want to join too. She's actually going to Rio for her birthday in January, so there you go. And you will have a good time with them.
I just made her whole business out of groups now. And literally, I asked, they're a husband and wife duo, and I asked them, like, what motivated you to do that? And they said, we literally wanted to travel the world, and we were like, we might as well bring our friends with us.
Yeah.
And they have literally developed a travel community. So much so, I'm like, I want to be part of it. It looks so much fun.
Yeah.
But it was those Instagrammable moments from Bali the other day that really were, and they were taken with an iPhone. This was their own pictures. It just, like, amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, so we could talk all day.
Yeah.
We could literally talk.
You can go, Nikki, but just,
Yeah.
but just work.
I was going to say I kidded about the Instagram moments, but you want to be the first in there first rather than where everyone else is. That's what I meant by that. But I think a good roundup, if we're not afraid to announce it, is our most embarrassing travel moment individually. How about that as a way of
I can't
finishing?
even say mine.
We've got to have a clean one.
Go on, say it.
It's so humiliating.
We'll start here. Yeah. Come on.
Microphone.
Oh my gosh. I would die of embarrassment. This will be on the internet forever.
Come on, do it.
I was going to Mexico, and it was, I don't even know how to say it. So I had like
Just say it, Melissa, go first.
I had a tampon. The guy thought it was a bomb. I'm telling you, he actually thought it was a bomb. And the security guard, he was running around the airport holding it up because he saw the string.
Stop.
I am not even joking.
What airport was this?
I don't, Cancun. I told you it was embarrassing.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna move on. Most embarrassing. This isn't bad, but we were going to Los Angeles, I think, and my friends and I were right in front of the counter to check in, and we decided to pop into the shop. And we were looking through the magazines, and we didn't hear them calling our names. And when we turned around, the plane was gone. And we missed the plane. Yeah, it was a bit embarrassing working in the industry.
I'm trying to think most embarrassing for me. Probably actually on my trip, I've probably got too many stories that I can't, they're not PC, but I'll think of my recent trip to Japan when I was flying from Dublin to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Tokyo. Long flight, I want to say it was about 15 hours or something like that. And I said to my mother, I'm not going to sleep on this plane. And she had said, listen, I'm going to give you a couple of sleeping tablets, for the trip. I failed to listen to the part where she said, Jennifer, just take half a sleeping tablet. Okay? So I took 2. Yeah. Best flight I've ever been on. Lufthansa were brilliant. However, okay, when I arrived in Tokyo and the air hostess came around with an apple, okay, and she was like, Ma'am, can you please wake up? Can you eat something? Because you haven't eaten. And all I could see was the drool marks down my face, like drip down here. I was obviously comatose. And I'd said to my mother, I took 2, and she said, that was for the entire trip, Jennifer. So I'm not recommending overdosing in sleeping tablets, but it made the journey very comfortable. Nikki.
2, eeny meeny. I'm going to have to go with a trip to China.
Is this a toilet story?
Yes. I had two really embarrassing ones. So I came out this stall. It was wet. On the floor. lost my footing, fell down and slid right across the floor, like face first. And then I had a lot of local ladies come to me, and all I wanted was out of there as quickly as I could do. I couldn't run quick enough. Second most embarrassing, I'm going to say, was turning up with an ETA that had been issued incorrectly for a trip to Australia, because I totally ignored our own advice on checking it first. Got to the airport, it was totally wrong.
Karen, mine is a trip to Africa. I had this hotel, of course it's in the bush, and the bathroom was like an open air bathroom. And it was kind of enclosed, but it had like, the windows were between two boulders, so it was like an open thing. So I wind up for the night, and by mistake I leave the bathroom light on. And when I got up in the morning, that bathroom was full of insects, bugs, maybe 1 million of them. And I couldn't even get into that bathroom. It was like so full of bugs. And I said, my God, how stupid of me to leave the light on and not realize that that bathroom would be full of bugs the next morning. I couldn't get out of that room fast enough. I literally picked up my bags, everything, and I went and used the public bathroom in the lobby because I couldn't enter that bathroom. And I said, never again will I make such a stupid mistake.
Well, can I just tell you, this will be the last bathroom.